Hi Sagittarius, Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. It's April 2019. Here's your horoscope for the month. This is Sagittarius. It's always good to look at where the bulk of energy is in terms of the planets for any given month. Have a look at the fourth house here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Focusing on your domestic sphere. Venus there with Mercury, friends, and the idealistic Neptune. So you are aspiring to a lot of new stuff there in your family life, especially if we animate this and we see the movement of the moon here. And this precedes a new moon on the 6th in your 5th house, which has to do with children, creativity. So this whole lower part of the horoscope is activated in a big way, bringing with it focus on mother, family. Vehicles as well are indicated by this 4th house. So all of those fixed assets, the property itself, having these idealistic planets shows that you're thinking of ways to beautify, improve, enhance the value of, so to speak. And this is all nice too, with your confidence really at an all-time high with your ruler Jupiter in your sun sign now. Especially for those of you in the latter part of Sagittarius, Jupiter is going to bring some very nice opportunities for you. 24 degrees means those of you born in the last 6 or 7 days of the sign of Sagittarius. So what would that be? Around 15th to the 22nd of November. Very lovely aspects here. We see also that new moon, and why I'm saying this, is in the trine aspect to your ruler from this very favourable 5th house of creativity, children, new ideas, speculation, entertainment, enjoyment, love affairs. A whole lot of areas are covered by that. And I know that sounds broad, but unless we have the specific birth horoscope, we have to be a little bit general here. I know you understand that. So suffice to say, those people especially born under the sign of the Centaur are going to have some really, really positive opportunities. The new moon indicating a brand new opening out of creative energies for you. A new love affair. Children turning over a new leaf if you've been at loggerheads with them. Some abrupt changes in your work shown by the conjunction of the moon with Uranus in the 6th house on the 7th. Just watch that and make sure you have plan B in place before you put all of those plans and harden them in cement. Disputes with your partners after the 10th as moon transits Mars in the challenging aspect to Venus, all shown by a rather impulsive stance that you may take with them. The North Node here is now moving in your 8th house of sexuality and deeper spiritual and psychological insights. The moon there is in its own sign. These are the emotional complexes and psychological knots that will be worked through. And it's important that you do that because having the karmic point there is strongly indicative of it being pivotal in working out where you want to be, where you want to go, who you're going to be, what your identity as a human being is. What are those gifts that you've got? Unless you solve all of that stuff, you can't effectively open up to the blessings and gifts that you've been given in this life. Work will take center stage when the moon moves in the 10th house after the 16th here. Again, we see you're driven. The challenging aspect of Mars can be a problem there. You may not see eye to eye with others on certain points shown by this here. It is just a single aspect here, the 16th. And 17th, it improves, you see here, somewhat. There are some beneficial aspects from Pluto and Saturn. Perhaps you don't have the challenge of other people, but here the challenges are from the home front. Mercury also moves out of this area around this time, and you'll see there Venus will follow very, very quickly after into that 5th house. That brings again, as we saw with the placement of the moon, a longer term positive influence on your love life, on your relationships, and an opportunity for you to finally say, hey, you know, I deserve to give myself some time out and to have some fun. If it's been all work, 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 heavy duty with a furrowed brow, this is a time of just letting it go a little bit. Sag, just enjoying yourself, and that can also happen in a more pronounced way when the moon makes connection with your ruling planet on the 23rd, which is very, very nice. This also brings with it some lucky opportunities, or opportunities that you create yourself. Don't be too pushy. Mars here is in the opposition, again showing that you may ruin an opportunity if you're not patient or trusting enough of the universe to bring you the benefits that you deserve. Just have trust that it'll all work out. At the same time, the Sun moves to the 6th house in the company of Uranus, bringing with it some changes that can take place in your immediate working environment. Uranus is a technological planet, so I've got a sense here that it could have to do with, you know, changing accounting systems, sales and service platforms, internet site hosting, new mobile phone, anything that you use in a technological sense that has to do with your professional activities is indicated. And that will be more activated by that lunar position here. You see the trine aspect? From your 2nd house of finance. In the last few days of the month, you may feel a little bit down about money as the moon transits across Saturn and Pluto. You may feel obsessed by this, in fact, and even trapped. But you need to keep optimistic, focus on these energies here in this 5th house, and that is likely only just sneaking into the beginning of the next month, which we'll talk about next month. The final day of the month, on the 30th, is there more focused on a domestic tone, which was also mentioned earlier, and seeking to bring those ideals, which is Neptune, down to a more practical scenario. Here the problem you've got is the hard aspect of Mars to Neptune, which basically means ideals and actions to make those ideals a reality are at odds with each other. That we can talk about more because Neptune's going to remain here for some time. Do take a look at astrology.com.au. I've written up all of your monthly readings. I've got your yearly reading there, so you can actually get this month in context as to where it's all going over the long term. That's very, very important. And for those of you that want answers to more specific questions, I'm here and I'm more than happy to answer that. If you'd like a personal reading, that's really the way to go. If you've got a need to get super clear answers with dates and times that relate only to you. And I hope you do that. More next month. Take care. Bye-bye.